yo, I can't believe the words that are about to come out of my mouth, but Ghost Rider is gonna be in Avengers Doomsday? I used to pray for times like this. Every time you think Doomsday can't keep getting crazier, they say, here go two more for you. And not only that, we also got some very interesting details about Chris Evans' role in Avengers Doomsday. We also got hints and teases at more potential cameos that are gonna show up in Doomsday. It's starting to look like the amount of kids that Nick Cannon has. And I'm letting you know right now, this news is really gonna shock you. And y'all know me, if I get a little bit of crumbs, I'm gonna make a 5-star meal. But either way, me and you know what we gotta do. We gotta talk about it. First things first, rest in peace, Uncle Phil. But for real, Doom! You looking for this? Cause like a Randy Orton RKO out of nowhere, Daniel RPK, an industry insider, decided to come out and say that Ghost Rider will reportedly have a cameo in Avengers Doomsday. Huh? What'd you say? That's right, I did not stutter. According to somewhat reliable industry insider Jeff Snyder, during the Hot Mic podcast, he reported that Ghost Rider is set to appear in Avengers Doomsday, and Marvel Studios are currently looking to cast for the role. But on top of that, this was corroborated and actually reported upon 4 months ago by somewhat reliable scooper, Apocalyptic Horseman, who said that there's been a lot of talk about Ghost Rider behind the scenes at Marvel Studios and that it's actually happening. They didn't have an idea about it being a solo project or Midnight Suns or which Ghost Rider exactly it is, but the plan is to introduce him to have a big role in Doomsday. Let's go ahead and pump the brakes on that motorcycle right there and dissect it, because I'm not seeking penance for what I've done, neighbors. I'm asking forgiveness for what I'm about to do. This shit means something to me! And I'm sure we all had an inkling or a feeling that Nicolas Cage's Ghost Rider was going to appear in Secret Wars, since that's going to be everyone coming back. But the fact that they're looking to cast this role means that they're looking for the MCU's version of Ghost Rider. But on top of that, saying that he has a big role in Doomsday could also add on to the fact of why Doomsday was delayed. Because if they don't even have Ghost Rider cast who's supposed to have a big role in the movie, what are we doing? But that leads me to which actor is going to play the MCU's version of Ghost Rider. But also, which Ghost Rider are we getting? Because there's been so fucking many. I mean, it's most likely going to be Johnny Blaze, since he's the most popular one, followed by Robbie Reyes, Danny Ketch, and then obviously the Phantom Rider himself, Carter Slade. Could it be Norman Reedus, who has been fan cast to death as Ghost Rider? I actually wouldn't mind him being a Carter Slade, just because he's too damn old at this point. I've seen the Keanu Reeves as Ghost Rider. Shit, I would be happy if they just brought back Diego Luna as Robbie Reyes from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because he's incredible. But the one actor who has been most rumored and sought after by Marvel Studios is none other than Ryan Gosling. And I'm letting you know right now, if Ryan Gosling becomes Ghost Rider, he's literally me. I'm going to become the most insufferable person on planet Earth just so I can run my agenda of this being literally me. I mean, look how fire and cold this looks. You know, if he actually does have a big role in Doomsday, I wonder what it could be. I mean, Ghost Rider is such a cool concept. It's metal as fuck that even the 2 movies that they made that are bad still have some of the hardest moments I've ever seen. Like Ghost Rider riding his motorcycle up a fucking skyscraper and having a man who literally drives be that man. Kevin, Russo brothers, take my money. But again, take it with a grain of salt. We'll just have to wait and see. And just a few months before that, Daniel RPK also revealed that Ghost Rider was set to appear in multiple different projects. Now, mind you, this is the new MCU Ghost Rider, not Nick Cage and none of the previous ones. And that includes a Midnight Suns movie, which will probably get our first look at Blade. Marvel Studios is in no rush to make a Blade movie. Yeah, we know. It's been 6 years since you guys announced Mahershala Ali was going to be playing Blade, and all we've had is his voice in Eternals. Like, it's still crazy that they have a 2-time Oscar-winning actor in Mahershala Ali and haven't done anything with Blade. Because, dog, how hard is it to make a Blade film? By the time we get it, Mahershala Ali is going to be 50. But I'm not mad. As long as you deliver us a good film, I'm going to be happy regardless. But what I also think and hope this means is that we get a focus on the supernatural side of Marvel Comics and the MCU at large in the next phase after Secret Wars. There's already been reports that they're going to be working on a Midnight Suns film, which I think makes a whole lot of sense. They kind of branch us into this new supernatural realm, an era or a phase of Marvel. Honestly, the apology need to be louder than the disrespect for Blade. So I hope the MCU does an entire phase focused on Blood Hunt, adapting some type of element from this, where Blade himself is the key fixture in the story, and it's an Avengers level event. I think that would be a great way to make it up to us, because I'm just a big fan of what Jed McKay did with Blood Hunt and his Moon Knight stuff, and I wouldn't mind seeing the Blood Coven and a bunch of our favorite heroes turning into vampires. Take my money. And we've kind of already opened up Pandora's supernatural box with Ironheart, obviously Doctor Strange, Agatha All Along, WandaVision, etc. Well, given the fact that Ironheart made a deal with a devil in Mephisto, I feel like she's got to be a part of the Midnight Sun some way, somehow. Plus, we still got to pick up the pieces on the hood. And Zelma Stanton was introduced in Ironheart, whose mother studied at Camertage. And I think this means we're going to be getting a Strange Academy, probably a show, a movie, a special or something where Wong is the lead. And I also find the timing of a Ghost Rider potentially appearing in Doomsday, an MCU one at that, very interesting, because we just got our first look at Mephisto in Ironheart. So maybe we get more Mephisto in Doomsday. And if we do, maybe we can learn more about Doom's mom when Mephisto said, Doom, Victor, where your mom at, Victor? Where your mom at, Victor? I doubt it, but that would be kind of funny if they explore this. Don't make deals with the devil, people. My bad, comic purists. A demon in hell. A deal with a devil, I guess I should say. Because I know how y'all like to be like, well, actually. Now, the other interesting little nugget that Daniel RPK mentioned with his Ghost Rider announcement is that there are going to be multiple other characters that'll have a cameo. And if y'all been following me, you know exactly where I'm going with this theory. I think we're going to get a look at multiple incursions happening happening at once, or an incursion happening with one Earth that inhabits all of our previous other Marvel characters. I think that definitely includes Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield's versions of Spider-Man. With all the recent rumors and speculation regarding Tobey Maguire specifically, who is in London where Doomsday and Brand New Day are currently filming, there's a lot of smoke with that fire. With the fact that we know that Loki's gonna be there, which most likely means the TVA is gonna be there, and Ryan Reynolds saying that he's not in Doomsday as Deadpool, which is a fucking lie. You gotta imagine that Hugh Jackman will also appear in this movie as well. And just the potential cameos that we could see throughout Marvel Cinematic history, not just the Marvel Cinematic Universe under Disney, is crazy. It's endless. And I see it playing out similarly to that scene in X-Men 97 when Magneto turns the world dark. We get quick flashes of all the other Marvel characters and heroes throughout the universe. I feel like it'll be something similar to this, but instead of, Magneto turning the world dark, it'll be incursions happening as they're seeing like, oh shit, our worlds are dying. But moving on to the next bit of news that Daniel RPK reported, and that's that Chris Evans will have a major role to play in the story of Avengers Doomsday. Now, I could definitely read your mind, so I know exactly what you're thinking. Duh. But I find his wording here very interesting. He said Chris Evans, not Captain America, not Human Torch, but Chris Evans. Christopher Jamal Evans. And I actually have a few ideas on what his role could be. Now, this next bit of news is where things get very interesting. Because according to industry insider Daniel RPK, Chris Evans and Haley Atwell have both begun filming their scenes for Avengers Doomsday. But hold up, I think we ain't done yet. Because according to Daniel RPK, a scene featuring Steve Rogers, Peggy Carter, and Dr. Doom set in the past is reportedly currently being filmed on Avengers Doomsday set. And coupling that with the main rumor that Steve Rogers going back in time to be with Peggy is what caused the incursions to start happening and why Doom is pissed off, it seems like they're going to be going that route, even though that doesn't make a whole lot of sense because in Loki season 1, they said that everything the Avengers did in Avengers Endgame was supposed to happen. But it seems like they're probably just going to be retconning that to try to make a more compelling story, which I wouldn't be mad at, just depending on what they do with the story. But it just makes me wonder what versions of their characters they're going to be playing. Are they just going to be like normal-ass civilians, like regular Steve Rogers, Peggy Carter? Or are there going to be some captains in front of their names? And does Doom somehow end up corrupting Steve Rogers to end up becoming a Captain Hydra? I feel like that's also on the table. I feel like we're going to get multiple versions of each of these characters. Because when you mess with time and the multiverse, it tends to mess back. We got Steve and Tony fighting again? Call CPS because I want out of this family. But it could be dope. According to this Twitter user, they took pictures of swings and slides outside the house, the set of the house of Peggy and Steve from the end of Avengers Endgame. So one, not only does this kind of confirm those rumors and speculation that Dr. Doom is going to be going after Captain America because he's the one who caused the incursions for going back in time in Endgame, and also the fact that the Chris Evans and Haley Atwell that we see is most likely this version, but they also might have a kid or kids. Huh? What'd you say? That's right, I did not stutter. Now, this could just be nothing, but if it is something, would Marvel Studios introduce an adaptation of James Rogers? He's technically the son of Captain America and Black Widow from an alternate timeline, because that would explain why she's actually able to have kids. I mean, with the amount of sexual tension between them and Winter Soldier, with them just being friends, she's just my friendo. I feel like this was them planting the seeds towards an eventual introduction to James Rogers some way, somehow. And if he is introduced, he most likely has powers thanks to the fact that Steve Rogers still has a super soldier serum, and also just because we saw Peggy Carter here doesn't mean that she ain't Captain Carter. So if they do introduce this ginger cool mother, he probably be strong as shit. And if Dr. Doom, played by Robert Downey Jr., looks like Tony Stark, pulling up to Steve Rogers' house with his wife and son, that would be a perfect parallel to when Captain America and a few of the other Avengers went to his log cabin house with his wife and daughter and asked him to basically give all of that shit up. Oh my god, hold on, his writing is fire. Hold on, you know something I just realized about the log cabin house? Has anyone else pointed this out? Did he go to a log cabin house because of the log scene from Avengers Age of Ultron? I mean, his pile definitely got enough logs to make a house. I'm just saying. But regardless, that's all the new news and updates we got about Avengers Doomsday, Ghost Rider, Midnight Suns, Chris Evans' role in the movie, as well as my thoughts, theories, and opinions. Let me know what you think about all of this down in the comments below. And as always, like and follow for more.